Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon. Good evening and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. We got some new information here, and I wanted to see this and watch this with you guys as well and go through some of this lawsuit as well. Because there were two new lawsuits that dropped yesterday. And of course, you know, this is the holiday time, so we're all busy doing a million different things. So I figured I'd squeeze this one in with you guys, give you guys this update revolving around this particular lawsuit. And of course, I talked about the second lawsuit. I covered that on my second channel as well. So before we get into everything, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below, crush that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. Make sure you hit, if you are watching on those other platforms, Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, hit that follow button on all those platforms as well. Hit that subscribe button here on my main channel. Go over to my secondary channel, the Pascal Show Clips, which I'm covering a lot of stuff over there. I mean, I just dropped something else, which I'm going to talk very briefly over here as well. Go check it out on the main channel or on the secondary channel, because some things I'm covering over there that I'm not covering over here, and vice versa. So make sure you subscribe to both. Make sure you have the notification bell set to all, so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Okay. Of course, hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out Patreon and my locals. That'd be greatly appreciated. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Okay, we got some really great merch over there. Go check it out. All right. Okay, guys, we got to get into some things. We're not going to be here for a long time because let's be real. All of us are either doing last minute Christmas shopping, or we're in the middle of traveling, trying to get to our respective places to spend time with our loved ones and all that stuff. So we're going to get straight into it without taking up too much of all y'all's time. Let's be completely real. Okay. But something happened yesterday. Two different things happened yesterday. Okay. There's been two new lawsuits on P. Diddy. Okay. On the Diddler. And we are going to talk about that. But first, I wanted to say this. I just put it on the secondary channel. Blake Lively is suing her, I guess, her co-star slash, where do I have it? There it is. Her co-star slash her, well, that's not being friendly. Hold on. This just froze up. Oh, come on. What the hell? Okay. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, guys. Hopefully it'll be kind to me this time around. Sorry about that, guys. I hate when that ish happens. It suddenly everything just froze on me. So hopefully everything will be Gucci now. But you know how it is. Everything pops up. Everything. Okay, so right quick. So again, I was just going to say this because I think this is a very interesting situation because, and this is a little bit of a left turn, but this is something that everybody and their mama is starting to talk about and cover right now. And these are some serious allegations coming from Blake Lively. Blake Lively is now suing Justin Baldoni or Baldani. He is the co-star and the director of that movie. It Ends With Us. And there's been a lot of problems and stuff going on lately or before and while the movie came out. It Ends With Us. There was a lot of craziness. And now she's saying SH, not SA, but SH. Okay. Which is wild. Absolutely insane, y'all. And she's saying that like it was a hostile work environment, that he was showing like photos of people, girls, without their clothes on, talking about his spicy film addiction, okay, and then some. Very interesting and wild allegations being thrown out at the director and co-star of this movie. And she also claims that they did this smear campaign to make her this glorified, witch, like this mean girl, okay? So now, of course, Justin Baldoni has his team, or his lawyer has fired back, basically saying that she is just trying to redeem. She's trying to do as best as she can to redeem her get her reputation back, because her reputation's been dragged through the dirt because of how her behavior has been trash during during this press junket of promoting this particular movie. And then, of course, a lot of things have been resurfacing of how she's been treating other people at interviews and all that stuff. But anyway, that's on the second channel. I highly recommend you guys go and check it out. To me, this is crazy because these allegations are insane, to be completely real. Insane. But if they're true, then it would make a little bit more sense on why they don't get along. That was the whole thing. So these allegations, and the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because it's a lawsuit. It's not rumor. It's not anything. It's not speculation or anything of that sort. It's an actual lawsuit that she filed against Justin Baldoni. That is crazy, guys. And it does make me wonder, how does Ryan Reynolds feel about this whole thing? Because it seems like they were fairly copacetic on set, or at least afterwards when the movie was already done and out and they were promoting it. It seemed like Ryan Reynolds seemed to be cool. He was chilling. But if it was like that, if it was anything like what she's claiming, wow, it's bad. It's a bad look for Justin Baldoni as well. But that's just something I wanted to share with you guys really quick. I think because everybody and their mama is talking about it now, because they're like, oh, snap. Some people are like, oh, she's just trying to save face. She's trying to do as best as she can to get back in the good graces of the general public, because the court of public opinion has basically said she's a bad girl and she's really, really mean. And yes, I've seen the video. I've seen I've seen it. I've seen the interview, and she's trash in that video or in that interview. I'm going to keep it real. Very pompous, very stuck up. It's terrible. But at the same time, these are serious claims. And for one to just put that out just so that they can save their reputation would be appalling. So hopefully the allegations that she's putting out here are absolutely 110% true. So we'll see what's up. Okay. But yes, the movie, It Ends With Us. They also say it's one of the reasons why the movie didn't do well. I actually thought the movie did well. I thought everybody knew about the movie and the movie did well. I don't know. It's not the kind of movie that I go and see. I'm not waking up going, "Ooh, I need to go see It Ends With Us." Nah, it ain't my cup of tea. All right. It ain't my stilo. But I know a lot of other people that did go see it. So it does make you wonder what were they expecting? It's a drama. No one's wearing costumes and shooting lasers out of their hands or eyes. So of course the result is going to be not billions of dollars. Now, if they were wearing spandex and trying to stop the world from imploding, yeah, probably make a lot of money. But this is very interesting nonetheless. All right. So just wanted to share that with you guys really, really quick. That is something that everybody and their mama is starting to talk about as well. Now, and you see, Kelsey said she saw it. It was really good. Okay. And they did make a lot of money. See, that's what I'm saying. I thought it did fairly well because people are a fan of the book. People who are fans of the book wanted to see how it looked, how it was going to be, how is it going to translate onto the silver screen. So that is something weird. Nonetheless, like I said, I'm just interested to see what people say about this lawsuit against him and all that. And the book is always better, Lisa. The book is always better. Books are always better than the actual movie. I have yet to see a movie where I'm like, damn, that was a lot better than the book. Hell no. Nah. Every time I'm like, man, they took out that part and they missed this part and they took out that part. And no, he wasn't wearing a purple suit. It was a blue suit. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Right? They take certain artistic liberties and it drives you absolutely up the wall because you're supposed to stay true to the material. Why would you change the thing into this? This is BS, right? So again, you see the movie? Was it good? Was it not? Was it worth the money? Let me know. Okay. So anyway, let us get into this. So that was the third thing. The two things is Diddy got hit with two different lawsuits. Now, I'm going to talk about the first lawsuit really, really quick, okay? Because we are going to cover that in another live, most likely maybe tomorrow morning or, whenever we have some free time. But here's the first lawsuit that we will be circling back and looking at in more detail later. That he is getting sued by a woman saying that she was given substances and then she was attacked by Diddy. Now, what's interesting and wild about this one is that she's saying that this happened during the New York City stampede that happened in 1991. Whoops. I'm going to try that again. Yes. So she claims that what happened to her happened while everyone was running for their lives, while there was absolute pandemonium and chaos inside the event space and outside the event in New York City in 1991. I'm just going to let you guys know that, all right? Soak that in. She went to the event. It was chaos already. She said it was brimming with chaos. You could tell that the energy outside was a little bit chaotic. She went to a security guard. She was with her friend. She went to the security guard. The security guard allowed them to sneak into the venue early. They got in. They were in this makeshift dressing room with Diddy. That's where they met him in this locker room that was basically turned into a makeshift dressing room. They had a conversation. She was given a drink. She felt woozy. She passes out. He attacks her. She wakes up. Then she basically says, I'm going to tell on you. Basically, I'm very much paraphrasing everything. And he basically said something along the lines of, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because people come up missing. Now, this happened in 1991. This is also at the same time, the same event that 9 individuals lost their life. Of course, may they rest in peace. But I am actually very curious about this one. I'm just curious about it. And of course, this one is being spearheaded by Tony the Busby. All right. And I'm wondering what is going on here. I'm wondering what I'm not sitting here saying that I don't believe it. We have to look at the facts. We got to look at the information. We got to let it run and let it do what it do. But I am kind of curious as to what other kind of information she has. What other evidence does she have? Now, I haven't seen the lawsuit itself. I do have it. It's in my possession, but I have not looked at it yet because I am planning on looking at that with you guys as a family on another show. But this is one of the two that dropped yesterday. All right? So just so that you guys are completely aware of what's going on. All right? So there is another one. We talked about this yesterday on the secondary channel. Another one. Another lawsuit. Two of them dropped yesterday. Not both of them are by Busby. This one is also being spearheaded by Ariel Mitchell Kidd. She's also representing a bunch of other accusers as well. And I think Courtney Burgess still. Remember that guy? It feels like 5 years ago we talked about Courtney Burgess. Whatever happened with Courtney Burgess? Did the police ever, did the feds ever get the thumb drives? Were there actual videos and Kim Porter's book in those thumb drives or no? Because I have yet to hear anything about Courtney Burgess. It's been a minute since we heard about Courtney Burgess. A minute. It's been weeks, y'all. Ain't that wild? It's been a minute. But I digress. She's also representing this particular individual that's saying that she was attacked at a party, at a white party that actually ended up not being a white party, ended up being a black party. Still want to understand the color schemes here. She was viciously attacked. This is what she claims. She walked into the party. She was there with her sister. Her sister's actually the one that was the actual radio contest winner who won tickets to this white party in New York City, where they were going to get flown out to New York City from Oklahoma and get to kick it and rub elbows with all of the celebrities and the elite. She goes to this party. She is given 2 drinks. She drinks 2 drinks. Those drinks make her feel very messed up. You know, we all know the story here, the pattern. She runs towards a bathroom, and all she remembers is waking up the next day in a hospital because apparently she was plied with some sort of substance. She allegedly was found without her underwear on, ripped shirt, and some of her money was gone. Now, she claims that she does not remember having any encounter, no correspondence with the diddler. But she was given something. She was plied with some sort of substance, and then she woke up in a hospital with no underwear, ripped shirt, and of course, money gone. Now, what's really, so like I said, this one is very interesting because she's claiming things that I'm still wondering where the proof is. And I think a lot of us are wondering that. And I'm asking that with all the respect in my heart. I'm not trying to knock this accuser. I'm not sitting here saying that she is not a victim. But obviously, what do you think Diddy's lawyers are going to do? They're going to do exactly what Jay-Z did with the Jane Doe that he's dealing with right now that has inconsistencies in her narrative. If you're saying that you don't know whether or not Diddy did something, then his team is going to file for a dismissal because they're going to sit there and say, you can't prove it. If you can't prove it, then why are you filing and saying that he did it? If Diddy didn't do it, or if you don't remember Diddy doing it, and you have no proof to back up those claims, then your lawsuit is bupkis. So it's very, very interesting. Of course, I'm summarizing a lot of this stuff. We're going to be going into the paperwork as well. We're going to skim through the paperwork. We're not going to look at it's 45 pages long, y'all. It's 45 pages long. But we're going to look at, or 43 pages long or something like that. But anyway, it's long, baby. So we're going to look at some of the stuff. Real talk. All right. We got this article. We got that. And Brian Ensign also interviewed her on Banfield's show last night. I was planning on doing this last night, but I was like, I was so busy with so many other things. I'm putting together, I'm finishing touches on the Christmas special and all that stuff. So I was just like, I don't have time tonight to do this. So I just said, I'm going to do it tomorrow when I get some time. And so now we are here. We are going to look at that interview as well. And that interview is questionable at best. Sorry, not sorry. I'm just saying it's questionable. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to break this down. Like I said, I'm not here to rip anybody apart, but we are all independent, critical thinkers. And when it comes to these kind of allegations, these are serious. So it does make you ask instantly. You can't just automatically go, oh, that must have been it. That must have been it. You see what I'm saying? And also, how dare they put Astroglide on the screen when I'm talking about, and right next to Diddy for nonetheless. You don't see Astroglide. Y'all don't see that in the corner. The hell? What's going on here? Boosts the glide that boosts libido. How fitting right next to the diddler. Look at that. Oh my God. Okay, moving on. Let me refresh this, see if we can get something better. Have mercy. We don't need that. The hell is that all about? Okay, so let's get into this. What the hell? Let's get into this. So, let's see. It says here, Diddy is facing, hold on, guys. There we go. Diddy is facing another SA lawsuit, and this time the accuser has included pictures from the party she was at, where she claims she was allegedly attacked. Now, here's the thing. That is a big deal. This is a very big deal. Having those photos are a big deal. But I will tell you this, though, too. Okay? I will tell you this, though, too. It doesn't, just because, let's just say this. Just because you have photos of attending an event still does not show proof. Still doesn't show proof of actual crime. You could be standing next to somebody, you could be standing next to Jay-Z and then make some sort of claims, but that still doesn't mean, you see what I'm saying? It still doesn't automatically mean guilt. It's not smoking gun evidence. Just saying. Also, I will say this too, though. If she actually was plied with some sort of substance at this event, this does show proof positive that she was slipped something while she was at the event. That is also a crime. If she consumed something, ambulance pulled up, took her in, and all that stuff, that shows proof positive that indeed is some sort of, that shows proof that she was given something. If she has all the paperwork, the medical documents and all that stuff to back her claims, but it still does not put Diddy in the room with her doing this particular crime. Okay? It just doesn't. But it still says that what happened to her is indeed could possibly have happened at that particular party. But let's get into this. So her name is LaTroya Grayson. An Oklahoma woman has filed a lawsuit against Diddy, Bad Boy Records, and a series of other companies over a 2006 incident where she claims she went to a Combs party and was plied with substances and ARD. This is LaTroya. Here's the deal. According to the lawsuit, Grayson's sibling won a radio contest through KJAMS, a local Oklahoma radio station, which included round-trip airfare for the winner and a guest, a local a hotel room in New York City, and 2 tickets to attend Diddy's white party in New York City. And I mean, at that time, I'm sure they were doing cartwheels and it's super excited about being a part of that party, because that is the space, that is the spot you want to go to, right? So moving on. Grayson says she and her sibling went to New York. She included in the complaint a photo of the alleged invite to the party and pictures of her Delta airline tickets. So this shows, okay, she got the invite, she had the tickets, so all those things are real in her photos. To take her from Tulsa, Oklahoma to New York on October 16th and to fly back on the 17th of October. Of course, she has photos of the hotel that she was staying at. She also includes a picture of the bill from the Roger Smith Hotel, a ritzy spot in Manhattan that was paid for by Atlantic Records. Grayson says she and her sibling, went to the party, which was changed to a black party, which, by the way, I'm wondering why it was changed to a black party. What does the color black mean for this particular party, which I'm very curious about as well. But they were separated when entering the party, with Grayson getting in and her sibling being left outside. Now, I think this is very important. Sibling was left outside. The sibling wasn't even allowed to get into the party, but I thought that they won tickets to go to the party. So why would they fly these 2 winners out and go, nah, your sis ain't got it, but you can come in? That doesn't make any sense, right? Right? So your sibling stays outside in the New York streets and you're just left, you leave her behind. So moving on. Grayson says witnesses circulated around the room with pre-made drinks, and after she says she had only 2 drinks, she began to feel sick and headed for the bathroom. Grayson says she has no recollection of the rest of the night, instead waking up at St. Vincent's Medical Center. When she woke up, she says she had a ripped shirt, she had no underpants on, and most of her money was gone. Here's a photo of the actual wristband from the hospital that she was wearing as well. It's important to note, Grayson remembers nothing about this attack she says happened. I think that's crucial information. She says she can't say with certainty who attacked her. And she never mentions actually seeing or speaking with Diddy at the event. So if you never saw him, you never rubbed elbows with him, you never shook his hand, you never chopped it up with him, how do you know for a fact he's the one who attacked you? And I'm asking politely, and I'm asking with respect, is it because you heard a bunch of other people and he's been arrested recently, so you just kind of did a process of elimination and just assumed that he's the one who viciously attacked you? Do you have an R kit? Did you keep DNA? You know, are they holding DNA from what happened to you, just in case you find out who the culprit is? Of course, these are all questions I feel like we'd all want to know. The other part is too, what about your sis? Can your sister corroborate these claims as well? Just curious. She then flew back to Oklahoma, where she says she received a phone call from an anonymous female. Who is that anonymous female? And does she still have that record, that phone number? I'm quite curious about that. Yes, this was in 2006, but at the same time, I mean, I would hope that she would hold on. She held on to all this other evidence. Yes, photos of all this other evidence. So I'm wondering if she, you know what I mean? But we'll see. So this person, anonymous female, calls her. And I'm wondering how she got the phone number, but I don't know. This anonymous female, who she claims told her to pursue action, not to pursue action, against Diddy because he was a quote unquote celebrity and she would just be quote unquote wasting her time. The lawsuit filed by Grayson's attorney, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, says that out of fear and confusion, she chose not to report this attack at the time. And of course, we already know about all things that Diddy is going through and then some. But what else is very interesting is what his lawyers said. And again, we've heard this a million times. And a million times I'll say it is basically the rubber stamp response to everything. And it reads like this. And this is from his attorneys. Mr. Combs has never essayed anyone or engaged in STing. Miss Grayson admits she has no memory of the events alleged in her complaint, does not know who was supposedly involved, and has never spoken to Mr. Combs. All allegations against him, or her allegations against him, are pure fiction. As we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every baseless lawsuit and lawyer-driven money grab. He has faith in the judicial process in which fact will be separated from opportunistic fabrications like these. Now, new stuff. They threw in some new words. Somebody pulled out a thesaurus and went, oh, this is a good one. Fabrications. F-A-B-R. You know what I mean? Add that into the statement. Yes. Because we've been saying the same ish over and over again. All right. Thank you. On behalf of Diddy, these are opportunistic. Yeah. Opportunistic. Right before that, too. Opportunistic fabrications. Yeah, that sounds real lore-like. So, yeah. So this is what they said. Okay? This is what they've had. They're saying right now. And of course, this particular person is saying she went to this party. She was there with her sister. Her sister was not allowed to get in. I'm still wondering why her sister wasn't allowed to get in. I find that a little bit weird. They won a contest. The winners should be able to walk in and they should be praising the winners and showing them a good ass time because they won those tickets. You feel me? So make that make sense. Why did she not go in? And again, is the sister still around? Hopefully she's still alive. And if she is still alive, she'll be able to officially corroborate these claims because those claims are damn serious. Those are some damn serious claims, though. Don't you think? She goes into the party. She is given a drink or two. She starts feeling a little woozy, the story that we've heard a billion times before, and she runs into the bathroom. That's all she remembers. Then she wakes up in the hospital. One thing that's interesting about the interview itself, which we are going to be seeing in just a little bit, she does say that the ambulance did pull up and pick her up. She makes claims of that. Now, it could have been a situation. We don't know the full scope of the situation. She could have been pre-gaming before the party, before the event, went in there, had one too many, and then bang, too messed up. Or she was actually slipped something at the party, and then bad things happened to her and she went to the hospital. Now, if that is the case, you would hope that they have some sort of test that they did on her to make sure that they knew what was in her system and what was going on. The medical records will be her salvation, because if something was slipped to her at the party, that's also illegal. And if it's also a Diddy party, yeah, that'll explain a lot of things as well, right? That would. But what sucks is everything else is a blur. Or she blacked out. She didn't even brown out. She blacked out, y'all. She out. So it does make you wonder, something's up. Something's up here. But we do have some paperwork that we need to take a look at as well. I so many questions. I have so many questions, and I can see why some people will look at this situation and go, instantly, they're side-eyeing it. This is a moment where I could see his team, Diddy's team, going out and doing exactly what Jay-Z did. You ain't got nothing. Now I'm going to expose you for the snake that you are, that kind of stuff. If she has no proof, except for photos, but none of those photos show Diddy, and then there's no proof of actual act happening, how can this withstand in court? It's almost like she, in a way, it's like a whim and a prayer. It's an educated guess. That could also blow up in her face. Real talk. So let's take a look at this. We're not going to look at this whole thing. It's 45. I was right the first time. It's 45 pages long. Okay, guys? 45 pages long. But one thing that I do think is interesting is that there's more than just one defendant in this situation. There's Sean Combs, of course, Bad Boy Entertainment, Atlantic Records as well as co-defendants. Then there's this guy, defendant Mike Savas. Defendant Savas, upon information and belief, is a citizen resident and is domiciled in the state of New York. Defendant Savas, upon information and belief and confirmed by defendant Savas's LinkedIn page, was an employee and employee of defendant Atlantic at all relevant times. So he used to work for Atlantic Records right here, because they are the ones that helped get this LaTroya and her sister out to New York. So I don't know. Maybe he was the radio host. I don't know. Okay, or maybe there for promotions or something like that. I don't know. But this is very odd. Defendant Savas, in his employment capacity with defendant Atlantic, is responsible for promoting, coordinating, and arranging the promotional contest, which was the cause of plaintiff's injuries. So he's the one who put together the party or put up the contest. Hey, we're going to give K-Jams these tickets to whoever wants to get a chance to be at this white party, Diddy's white party. Here it is. So now she's going after not only them, but Atlantic Records. They are also going after Delta Airlines. That one is a new one for me too. I'm sorry. Delta Airlines? What did the airlines do? All they did was transport you from Tulsa, Oklahoma to New York. So why are you suing the Delta? Yeah, they're kind of a crappy airline, but still, we know that. We've been known that. So what the hell's this? Weird, right? Defendant Delta operates on Defendant Delta operates an airline, which we already know, licensed to do business in New York with its headquarters, blah, blah, blah. Okay, ongoing relationship and participation with defendants Combs, Atlantic, and K-Jams. So then moving on, we already know about what the airline does. Okay, they put people in planes and then they hurl that tuna can with wings out into the sky, and then they land in their final destination. Okay, they transport people, but they're getting sued as well. Then also, to add into this as well, I'm not a fan of Delta. Sorry. I still will fly it. All I give a damn about is landing, getting to my final destination in one piece. It's a miracle we land and are still alive on the other side, okay, of the trip. It's amazing that those things hurl into the air, a tuna can in the sky. It's very impressive. And every time it's a miracle, I go, amen. I'm that old school that, Back in the day, they used to clap every time the plane landed. Yeah, I was old school like that too. I still clap in my mind. I'm still like, oh my God. I'm alive. I'm alive. You know what I mean? Because it's a miracle. It's a miracle that thing can do what it do. All right? Just being real. Okay, moving on. Sorry for the tangent, but I'm just being real. I don't like flying. If you didn't know that about me, now you know. Freaking hate flying. I hate it. And it's not comfortable. Just so you know, flying is not comfortable. They try to go, we would like to have you have a comfortable flight. You're not making it comfortable when the chairs are like here. Your knees are up against the chair. And I'm tall, man. I'm a big man. And you're up, your knees are up against the back of the chair. And and it's always the metal. It's always the metal. And then there's always some kid in the front doing this crap right in front of you while you're on the plane with your knees right there. And they're just bashing up against your knees. Yes, I said it. I don't give a damn. Okay? Some planes are a little bit bigger and nicer than others. Okay? Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. So anyway, my tall brothers and sisters, you understand my pain. And you're sitting all the way up. So it's not like you can even lean back, because even if you lean back, your legs are going to move forward a little bit. And what happens? You're up against that metal that's the chair in front of you. They don't even put no padding up on that business. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's always a kid in front of you just rocking around the Christmas tree. Okay? I digress. No, see, here's the thing. It's not like I need a Xanny or something. No, hold up. It's not like I need a Xanny. Okay? It's not like that. All I'm saying is your knees are up against the thing. If you're a tall guy like myself, your knees are up against that seat. There's no chill. Doesn't matter if you took an edible. Doesn't matter if you took a Xanny. It doesn't matter if you had a couple drinks before you got on the plane. It's still pain and uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, I've never tried that before, but at the same time, flying as a tall guy, or if you're big and tall, or if you're big, or if you're tall, it just sucks. And they try to be like, we want it to be comfortable for you. No, it's not. It's not. Okay? It's not. I hate flying. If you didn't already get that. Moving on, though. So they're suing also K-Jams. KK Jams. 105.3 FM. You see what I'm saying? They're also suing the radio station that gave her the tickets. What did they do wrong? You see what I'm saying? I'm not like, listen, the allegations, I sit here and I go, let the proof fall where they may and let it rock out in court. But not like this Savas guy, Delta of all things, and K-Jams, they may not even know anything about this. They may just go, oh, we got tickets. People are going to be able to win 2 tickets to the Diddy White Party. All right, bet. Support it. Promote it. And then give it to the person. That's one part. I'm like, how they in the bad? Unless they're in on it and there's some sinister thing. That's a possibility, sure. But on some real stuff, Delta? Okay. They're also suing the hotel. Roger Smith Hotel. Then defendants John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10. So, upon information and belief, plaintiff alleges that defendants Doe's 1 through 10, inclusive, are other parties not yet identified who have violated plaintiff by attacking, threatening her, conspired and or aided and abetted the defendant Combs and the other defendants in their participation in a corrupt organization that caused plaintiffs injuries. Holy crap. 10 individuals, 10 John Jane Does that have not been named yet, which I'm assuming are some level of celebrity, have not been named yet, but she is claiming that they aided and abetted or they were a part of this whole thing, helping Diddy and others doing what they did to her. The true names, whether corporate, individual, or otherwise, of defendants 1 through 10 inclusive are presently unknown to plaintiff, which therefore sues said defendants by such fictitious names and will seek leave to amend this complaint to show their true names and capacities when same have been ascertained pursuant to CPLR 1024. So in other words, she doesn't even know the people's names. If I'm reading this correctly, let me repeat this again. The true names, whether corporate, individual, or otherwise, of defendants 1 through 10 are presently unknown to her. So you think that these 1 through 10 defendants are going to step forward now? Hell no, they're not. So how's she going to find out what happened to her in 2006? And how's she going to be able to tack this on to 10 different John or Jane Does? How's she going to successfully do that if she doesn't know who they are? Not even a glimpse of who she. No, you see what I'm saying? Something I just thought of too. Think about this, and it's going back a little bit, because brain is working overtime lately. Let me just point something out. If her sister won these tickets from KK Jam's 105.3, if she did, would they possibly still have a recording of said phone call where she won the tickets? Would they still have a recording of that? KK Jams 105.3. We got our 10th caller. What's your name? I'm blah, blah, blah. You're our winner. You get new. You know what I mean? Congratulations. You get to go and kick it with Diddy at one of his infamous white parties. Woo! Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Tell us thank you, and tell us who's your favorite radio station. It's KK Jams 105.3. And then they kick it into the song. Do they not do that? At least they used to do that back in the day. So if that's the case, would they still have that recording? Something else that maybe they want to get their hands on, because that would help with the storyline, at least that part. The actual attack is a different story. But the winning of tickets, that can help solidify the foundation of her story, the origin of her story. Right? Just saying. Let's continue on, though. Upon information and belief, plaintiff believes all of the Jane and John Does 1 through 10 are citizens of the state of New York. So they could be anybody. Upon information and belief, plaintiff believes and thereon alleges that at all times relevant hereto, each of the defendants 1 through 10, these Does, were the agent, affiliate, officer, director, manager, principal, alter ego. That's a new one for me. And or employee of defendants Combs, Bad Boys Entertainment, Atlantic, Delta, Hotel, and or K Jams, and was at all times acting within the scope of such agency, affiliation, alter ego, relationship, and or employment and actively participated in or subsequently ratified and adopted or both each and all of the acts or conduct alleged with full knowledge of all the facts and circumstances, including but not limited to full knowledge of each and every violation of plaintiff's rights and the damages to plaintiff's proximately caused thereby. But I mean, like, you don't know who they are, though. Okay. At the time of this situation, this, of course, is the plaintiff. Her name is LaTroya Grayson. She says that according to this, they say that she was 23 when this whole thing went down. I can only imagine. I mean, if these claims are true, I'm sorry I have to say it like that. If these claims are true, unbelievable. Okay. Now, before we go back to this, we have to get into this. So let's take a look at this. All right. So plaintiff is an individual who is a citizen of the United States. We already know all of this. Plaintiff had never traveled to New York City prior to the events described herein, and otherwise would not have traveled to New York City without being enticed by the scheme of defendants. I do think that some of these parties could just be innocent, like K-Jams. I don't know if there's anything sinister going on, but you never know. Maybe something is sinister going on, and that this is all one big plan to grab two girls, grab two winners, and have them come up and victimize them. That's a possibility, okay? But still, interesting. Plaintiff was the guest of her half-sibling, who won the contest on defendant K-Jam's radio station and agreed to accompany her sibling on what she believed to be a legitimate, all expenses paid trip to a Diddy party. They spelled that wrong. In New York in 2006, and her life has been detrimentally impacted ever since. Okay, factual allegations, radio contest. In late 2006, defendant K-Jams began promoting a contest on its radio station, 105.3 Jams in Oklahoma, sponsored by defendant Combs, BBE, Bad Boys Entertainment, Atlantic, and Delta, offering the winner a prize of an all expenses paid vacation for two to New York City to attend a Diddy white party. At this point, Diddy's white party were legendary. So we already know about this, okay? Eagerly, plaintiff and her sibling tried to win this contest. Eventually, the sibling won the contest. The contest included round-trip airfare for the winner and a guest, one hotel room in New York City, and 2 tickets to his white party. Upon information and belief, this was not a traditional white party thrown by Diddy, as those typically occurred during Labor Day holiday, but a separate promotional party. Initially, the party was scheduled for October 6th, but was then rescheduled without warning or explanation. Plaintiff received an initial letter from Atlantic providing instructions on how to attend the party and the details of the party, dated for the original date of the white party. And she has it right there. Let's just see what that says there. I mean, it's super blurry, but it says, "Dear customer winner." And this is from Atlantic. You see the header up there. It's from Atlantic. Interesting. Moving on. The party was then rescheduled for October 16th, 2006. Plaintiff was provided a plane ticket issued by Delta. You see the Delta tickets were down below for departure on October 16th, and then she would be returning back the next day on the 17th of October. So one day and night basically, of a grand old time in New York City and then get your Tokuses back to Oklahoma, right? In addition to the date of the party being rescheduled, the theme of the party was also changed from a white party to a black party. Due to the change of required color attire to attend the party, plaintiff was forced to purchase a new outfit that was within the new scheme and dress requirements for admittance. That's also her sibling had to do the same thing if that's the case. Plaintiff and her sibling, half sister, by the way, had never been to New York City and were very excited about their trip and their attendance at this celebrity party hosted by Diddy. Plaintiff and her sibling rented a limousine to transport them from the airport to the hotel in an effort to make the most out of their free trip. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Upon arrival in New York City, plaintiff checked into the prearranged hotel, the Roger Smith Hotel. Receipts right here. Plaintiff was required to pay a cash deposit to the hotel, which was provided and paid for by Atlantic. Interesting. But receipt right here, $50, it looks like. They had to make a deposit for $50. It's not that bad. I mean, it is 2006, you know what I mean? It's 2006, and it's only for one night. It's only for one night. Plaintiff changed into her requisite black outfit and met the transportation van arranged by Atlantic employee Mike Savas downstairs at the hotel. Along with plaintiff in the transportation van arranged by Atlantic employee Mike Savas were several other contest winners who won the same contest in their home cities and were subsequently flown to New York as radio contest winners for this Diddy Black Party. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't be just those two. It would be other people, other winners that won as well, going to the thing too, which is still, I'm sure the excitement was palpable, right, in that van. Upon arrival at the location where the Black Party was thrown, plaintiff and the other contest winners were forced to wait in line for entrance into the party. Plaintiff and other contest winners were approved for entry by security based on their appearances and their attire. That's ridiculous. If that's true, that's ridiculous. Individuals were not let into the party based on their position in line, but based on their attractiveness and attire. Ridiculous. So again, her sister didn't get in, but she got in. This is what she's saying. After waiting in line for approximately 45 minutes, plaintiff was finally granted entry into the party. Even though plaintiff was granted entry, her sibling was not. And plaintiff was separated from her sibling before realizing her sibling had not also been granted entry into the party. Plaintiff did not see, nor does not remember seeing her sibling at the party during the time that this plaintiff was inside the party. While inside the party, the plaintiff, LaTroya, took pictures with some of the celebrities in attendance, including rappers Babs from Making the Band and Bone Crusher. There we go. Bang, bang, some photos. At one point, plaintiff met an individual who purported to be Combs' assistant, and he befriended plaintiff, who was alone. She was not with her sister no more. Sister gone. Sister did not make the cut, which is trash. While at the party, she won the contest. She should be able to get in, and that's trash. While at the party, there was no bar for partygoers to get drinks. Instead, pre-made drinks were being circulated throughout the party by waitresses. Here are some of the waitresses. And no, it is not Paris Hilton, guys. Come on, y'all. That is just a tall, blonde woman There's 2 tall blondes and, of course, some brunettes. Okay. Somebody said in the chat, no, that's Paris Hilton. No, it's not. Man, no, it's not. Moving on. After less than 2 pre-made drinks provided by the waitresses, plaintiff began to feel sick and tried to go to the restroom. The next memory plaintiff has is awaking at St. Vincent's Medical Center of New York. Here's the medical record. Plaintiff has no memory or recollection on how she ended up at the hospital. She regained consciousness at the hospital. When she did, she noticed her shirt was ripped, underwear was missing, and she was not wearing any shoes, and the money she had traveled with was stolen. The only money she had remaining was $20. So somebody was at least nice enough to leave her a whole $20 bill. Dag nab. She was admitted to the hospital, treated, and then released. Here is the wristband, the hospital wristband. She kept all this stuff, took photos of all this stuff. Okay. Now, again, the medical records, Rainy Day just said, proof, medical records. Yes. But here's the thing. What do the medical records read? That's what I want to know. Because this is so foggy, or you know what I mean? It's so out of focus. I'd like to see the actual thing, because no matter what, if she was given some sort of plied with some sort of substance, oh, it's bad. Still, no matter what, that's illegal. And if this was still at a Diddy party, that's a very, very big deal. Just so you know. And I also wonder if an R kit was also done on her as well, because for her to sit there and say she was viciously attacked, or that she was SA'd and she's a victim of SA, you instantly want to know, did you do an R kit, and that's why you are a survivor, and that you were SA'd. You know what I mean? You can't just wake up and say, oh, I must have been SA'd because underwear is missing. Also, sorry, I'm gonna say this. If you don't have the paperwork, this is going to be very difficult to prove. Here's another thing. Who's to say that you drank something and you went out your mind? I'm sorry, real quick. Who's to say that you drank something and you went out your mind? So out of your mind that you were just ripping off your own stuff. I'm just saying, like I said, I'm not trying to, I am not team diddler, okay? But I'm also team common sense. And we are all thinking critically. We're all critical thinkers. So when I hear this stuff, I'm like, okay, what do the documents say? What do the medical documents say? Do they say something in here, or do they not? Did you get an R kit done? Did somebody turn to you? Did a doctor turn to you and say, you were attacked, so we ran an R kit and blah, blah, blah? Something of that sort. Again, those things, like I said, I know I've seen plenty of people who have had a few too many. You know, give them 2 shots of tequila, and they sit there and go, I can't believe I did that stuff. I don't even remember doing that stuff. Oh my word. I did what? You know what I mean? I know plenty of people. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. People just out their mind after a few drinks. And I'm just talking about people just drinking. So I'm wondering, could it possibly be a thing where, say she did take something that was laced and it made her go out her mind? That's a possibility. I'm not sitting here saying I don't believe her, but there are some questions that I still do have, especially when you have these kind of, you're making some serious allegations. So I wonder. Just saying, how many receipts do you have? Because you need a good amount to solidify things. But let's continue on. I really want to see the medical records for sure. Okay, so $20 was left to her name, basically in cash. She was still in that place. She was treated, then released. Upon her release from the hospital, plaintiff, a tourist, had no way of knowing how to return to her hotel, as smartphones were not a commonplace at that time. Yeah, probably a flip phone or a sidekick, one of them things. Plaintiff remained in the waiting area of the lobby at the hotel after her release for so long, she eventually was forced out by the hospital security. She was able to find a book of matches in her purse bearing the name of the hotel she was staying at. She then hailed a cab, returned to the hotel using the $20 that she had left in her purse. When she returned to her hotel, she called a friend and explained she was not sure what happened to her, but plaintiff believes she was plied with something, attacked, robbed, with no memory of how she arrived at the hospital, as her last memory was being at Diddy's black party. Plaintiff had virtually no time to process or further determine what happened to her, as her flight back to Oklahoma left at 3:50 p.m. the very next day, less than 24 hours after she arrived in New York City. So she drank, she passed out. Well, she claims to have been given something, some sort of substance. She passes out. She's in the hospital, and then they kick her out. Less than 24 hours. And then she eventually makes it to her plane to get back home. So the day after plaintiff returned home from New York, she received a phone call from a New York area code with an anonymous female caller. The anonymous female caller asked to speak to plaintiff. The anonymous female caller then threatened plaintiff, telling her that any attempts to pursue anything about plaintiff's attack would be futile because defendant Combs was a celebrity and that plaintiff would, quote unquote, just be wasting her time. Plaintiff was confused and scared as she did not know what happened to her. Plaintiff hearing from this anonymous female caller was further jarring and traumatizing, as plaintiff learned that not only was she viciously attacked leading to her waking up at the hospital, but that Diddy was involved and plaintiff would be unable to seek justice for her injuries because of his celebrity status. Now, again, who's this anonymous phone caller? Who's this female caller that called her? And again, does she have this on record? She has these photos of everything, but does she have that on record? When plaintiff tried to ask the anonymous female caller her name and how she obtained LaTroya's phone number, the anonymous female caller, hung up. When plaintiff tried to call the number back, it was disconnected. It was disconnected that quick? Damn. All right, then. For approximately a week after she returned home, she felt constant pain from the inside and the outside of her downstairs. Pain, she believed, was from rough interaction down there, if you get what I'm saying. However, she had no memory of engaging in any type of action with anyone, intimate action with anyone. She did not seek medical treatment or otherwise report her aid to law enforcement because she was scared and confused. First, because she did not know exactly what happened to her. Second, because of the threats she received from the female caller about Diddy's involvement and it being a waste of time due to his celebrity status. Plaintiff became severely depressed and felt shame despite not fully remembering what happened to her. Plaintiff felt betrayed by defendants, specifically defendants Combs, Atlantic, and K-Jams, because she believed attending a party thrown by Diddy would be a safe environment. Plaintiff felt betrayed by defendants Atlantic and K-Jams because they failed to protect her despite creating, promoting, and financing a contest that led to her injuries and lured her to an unsafe place without warning. The A in fear after this attack led plaintiff into a tailspin of anxiety and depression. She was unable to maintain employment or otherwise be a productive member of society for at least a year after her attack in New York City. She believes defendants committed this attack against her solely because of her gender. She has been reminded of her attack by Diddy, as he is an inescapable, inescapable presence in music, television, and film. She also experiences intimacy issues, struggling to maintain emotional and romantic relationships. Diddy has altered the trajectory of this woman's life. To this day, LaTroya experiences bouts of depression, anxiety, body image issues, feelings of worthlessness, and intimacy issues because of the trauma stemming from her attack. LaTroya feared further violence and or retaliation from the diddler in filing this lawsuit, but since Diddy has been incarcerated with no bond, plaintiff feels safe to seek redress for her injuries. Plaintiff seeks justice for herself and for any of other Diddy victims, including the countless victims who have already filed against the diddler. Now, again, very interesting. All of this I'm quite vexed. I'm going to be real. I'm quite vexed. The reason why I'm vexed is because of all this, the information that is in here, and then also on top of it, the lack of information that's in here too. There's a lot of holes in here because it still doesn't say he did it. Did he? Or did he? That's the thing. If there was, and that's the thing. Let me bring this back. I think I highlighted it. Yep. So plaintiff did not seek medical treatment or otherwise report her attack to law enforcement because he was scared and confused. I get that piece. I get it. I get the fear of that. But there's nothing being said about an R kit being done at the hospital when she was sent to the hospital. She does not have any recollection of ever crossing paths with Diddy at all. And yet she says this is the guy who did it. Are we sure about that? Are we sure? Now, the reason why I was going back up here are the photos. You got a guy who claims to be Diddy's assistant, who was with her, who was hanging out with her when she was alone. Then you have these two, okay? You got Babs and Bone Crusher over here. So she met some of these celebrities. Celebrities were met, but she didn't meet Diddy. At least she doesn't remember meeting Diddy. And I think that's a huge piece right here. So you got all these people, photos of her meeting these people, but no recollection and no photo with Diddy. Again, I'm not sitting here saying that I do not believe her. I'm just quite curious as to what she claims to be true. And of course, is this enough information to bury Diddy even further underneath the prison with this particular lawsuit? Is it enough to really take the diddler down even more? I don't know. There's not enough information from what I'm seeing here. Right? Because again, something just doesn't seem right. Then I'm also wondering who else that she ran into could corroborate her story as well. The medical records would be very helpful. if there was an R kit that was used and was performed on her when she was found, okay, or when she was brought into the hospital, that'd be absolutely helpful as well. Her sister, her half sister, that won the contest but ended up not getting into the party, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. I would think that she would be able to sit there and go, yeah, she got in, but I didn't. Where's her story? Can she corroborate this story? It's kind of like the same with the Jane Doe that said, my dad drove down, picked me up, and took me back. We didn't talk at all in the car. And then when they asked the dad, what did the daddy say? Dad said, I don't remember any of that. Yeah, I got a lot going on, but I would remember that. I'd remember that story or that moment in life. He even sat there and said, I don't remember that moment. That's a big freaking mother loving deal, in my personal opinion. So when I see something like this, I go, wait a second, who else was with you? Can you absolutely 110% corroborate this story? Any of these people that were eyewitness to her being at the party, to meeting her, to going on the trip with her in the first place. Just saying, something just, like I said before, just doesn't feel right. It's just not. The math ain't mathin', guys. But moving on, we got another video. Like I said, that's just the breakdown of everything. And to me, I go, it's not enough. There needs to be more, just in my personal opinion. I'm just one person, okay? I'm not a lawyer of any kind. And of course, I want all people who are stepping forward, I want them all to be telling the truth, right? We all hope that they are all telling the truth. And I'm not sitting here saying that this woman's not telling the truth. I'm just saying there's just not enough evidence that really solidifies this as a legitimate lawsuit against Diddy. She could have been essayed, but she could have been essayed by anybody at that party. It's important, right? It's very important. Now, moving on. What about the pizza boxes? Rainy day, that's a good question. There's no pizza boxes in this situation. Now, here's the thing. We got the interview. She steps forward. LaTroya speaks out in this interview. We got to look at this because this one is it's questionable. It's an interesting interview. We got to take a look at this, y'all. Shout out to Brian Enton, man, he's always holding it down, okay? And also News Nation for getting this interview because they were supposed to have an interview with another victim, and then that just fell through the cracks. So I'm glad that they were able to get this particular accuser to step forward and speak out. But I don't know about this interview. I don't know, man. Just take a listen. We gonna talk. We gonna pause. We're gonna break it down, and we're going to conversate. Let's get into it.
A woman named LaTroya Grayson, who says she believes that she was drugged and assaulted at one of Diddy's parties in 2006. And LaTroya joins us live now. This is her first time speaking out since filing this lawsuit just today. We're also joined by her attorney, Ariel Mitchell. I appreciate both of you ladies being with us on a Friday night. LaTroya, I want to start with you. Walk us through what happened. I know that your sibling won a contest to go to a Diddy party. You flew out to New York. What happened from there, LaTroya?
Well, pretty much everything that happened is in the lawsuit. So I would encourage any and everyone that would like to know the information to read it.
Yeah, I understand. And we've looked at the lawsuit today. I just wanted to hear from you what happened. I mean, because I can imagine you guys won the tickets to go, which must have been pretty exciting. You were in Oklahoma, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you flew to New York. Was it with your sister?
Yes, sir.
And were you excited? I mean, what were you thinking it was going to be like?
fun, hanging out, the normal parties, getting to take some pictures with some celebrities.
Okay, sorry, I got to cut in and out. I'm sorry, but do you, he's asking her a legitimate question. With all due respect, he's asking in the very beginning. We're going back to the very beginning. He's asking her a legitimate question, like, "Can you just tell us a little bit of what happened? Like, can you just talk with me? Let's have a conversation. Let's do an interview." And she's like, "Yeah, I just recommend everybody go and read the paperwork. Why can't you just say a summary of what went down? Not everybody has access to the paperwork, and not everybody knows where to get that paperwork. They want to hear from her, but she's not willing to talk about that. That seems a bit odd to me. Like I said, I'm not saying that she's lying. I'm not, but there's just something about it that seems a little bit odd. That's all. That's all. And as she responds, it's very well. You'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see. I'm gonna keep it rolling. Let's keep it moving, baby.
Yeah, I would imagine getting to go to a Diddy party. I mean, now we know that, what was really going on allegedly, but I'd imagine at the time that would have been exciting to win that. What was it? What do you remember it being like when you got there?
Can we just for a second, I don't want to put too much on Mrs. Grayson in terms of answering a lot of questions today.
But that's why she's on the show in the first place. That's why she's on the show in the first place, to answer questions. Is she not? Then why is she on TV then? Why is she on TV? I'm rolling that back. You need to hear that one more time. He's doing Brian Enting, okay? He doing his damn job right now, all right? He's asking the questions. He's supposed to ask questions. So why you here then? Why do the interviews, Mang? Oh, come on. I'm going to play a little bit because I'm like, and I know you got to be kind. I know you got to be cordial. I know you got to be, diplomatic when it comes to dealing with interviewing people because they're a guest on your show. You want to be kind, you want to be cordial, etc. I get all that stuff, but this is weird. Sorry, not sorry. This is weird. And I'm not sitting here saying she's a liar. I'm not. But this is weird. Why go on the show if you can't answer any damn questions, son? Listen.
At the time, that would have been exciting to win that. What was it? What do you remember it being like when you got there?
Can we just for a second?
What was it like being at the party? She can't even. Okay.
I don't want to put too much on Mrs. Grayson in terms of answering a lot of questions. Today was already a hard enough day. It did take us some time even, for her to come forward and be able to, talk publicly about what happened to her. So, I hope we can just not pepper her with as many questions about, that night. I know everyone wants to hear from the victims, but it's very traumatic having them relive these things that happened to them.
Okay, I'm pausing it right there. With all due respect, I fully understand what she's saying. I get it. It's a hard day. Absolutely. What she just put out there, especially the fact that she's not hiding behind a Jane Doe name, she put her name out there, her face and her name out there. I can only imagine how scary that could feel, how scary it could be. But at the same time, though, he's not asking anything too hard. He's literally asking, hey, what was the party like? Walking into the party, what was it like? But again, like I said, if you're not ready to have conversations, then don't do an interview. If you're not ready to have a conversation, then don't agree to hop onto a national television show and just sit there and stay silent. You don't upset. Like I said, with all due respect, I want people to win. I want Diddy to go down more than anyone else, because I believe, hey, where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay? I believe that there's some things he has done. Now, has he done all 120? I don't know. Or more? I don't know. But when somebody says, okay, yes, I agree to come onto the show, then this person should get an opportunity to speak. I don't think that there's anything wrong, because as soon as you jump in like this is when everyone goes, wait a second. Why won't you let her answer that simple question? It's not talking about the actual attack. It's just talking about like the vibe of the party. What was it like? Was it crowded? Was it lit? How long were you in there before you passed out? It's just that. Yeah. Spirit Dragon, he's being so kind. You see what I'm saying? These are softball questions, you know? And I get it. You got to be understanding and caring. You don't want to play hardball on that victim, but you also got to get some answers. They agree to get on the show. The people, the viewers, want some answers and want to get a better understanding of what exactly they went through. If you can't answer the questions, then why have them on the show? Don't do interviews then. Don't. Until you are fully ready. Right? But let's continue.
So, I want to make sure I'm also preserving what we need to do for our litigation with Mrs. Grayson as well, and protecting anything that she does say. I like to explain to people in the evidence rules, anything she says can be used against her. But she did want to come forward with all the allegations, with all the individuals that are making, very rarely are you seeing any of the victims actually coming forward. So today she was very brave, and through her, her doubts, wanted to come forward and do this program here today.
I am actually kind of curious if they're getting paid. I'm sorry. I am actually curious if they got paid to even do this interview. And on some real ish, y'all, this wasn't worth the money. If they got paid, if her client got paid to come onto this show and speak, because remember, a lot of these people who are stepping forward, or not a lot, but as of recently, a lot of them been being like, yo, $750 to talk, yo, $1,000 to talk, yo, $1,500 to talk, right? You want that exclusive? You want that exclusive, Pascal? Man, I got you, bruh. But I need at least a rack. And then I'll sit down with you, bruh. Like, that's really what's going on. So, could she have been paid to be here? It's a possibility. But they didn't get their money's worth with this interview. Mang.
Yeah, I understand, and I wouldn't want to put her in an uncomfortable situation, and I understand she just filed the lawsuit. I was just wanted her to explain what she remembers from that night. Maybe you, Ariel, since not everybody's seen the lawsuit. I've seen the lawsuit, but people watching haven't read the lawsuit. Maybe you can explain what you are alleging in the lawsuit.
By the way, smart move by Brian Enton. See what he did? He spun it. Okay, if I can't talk to her, let me talk to you then. You're the lawyer, so you'll be able to dispel and give us more information on certain things within the confines of the lawsuit that won't be incriminating or won't be something that could be held against her in a court of law. So go ahead, tell us what you know, because since she's not allowed to talk. Tell us what you know.
So essentially, it's pretty easy facts. There was a nationwide contest that was promoted where you called in and won an all expenses trip paid to New York, which for anybody, a free trip to New York, even in today's time, will be a great value, a great trip. And then on top of that, the trip, you got to go to a P. Diddy party. So calling a radio station, I've called the radio station to win tickets, not a great prize like you would think she won back then. And this was, back in 2006 during the height of Diddy's career, during the height of Bad Boy Entertainment and the white parties. So that was part of the enticement, was to bring people who knew about these parties, who desired to go there, which is why it was such a successful contest. She went to the party. There was transportation that was arranged, hotels that were arranged. Everything was all paid for, even transportation to the party. What I found to be concerning was that there was transportation to the party, but not from the party. And then at the party, Ms. Grayson alleges that, as you see in the lawsuit, and I want to start encouraging people to go read these lawsuits instead of hearing these sound bites that they see in the news or on social media, because before you go and start to make an opinion, you should go read these lawsuits. They are there. They are free. They are public record. But essentially, she was drugged. She woke up and was in the hospital. Her next memory was being in the hospital. After finally returning back to the hotel, she had to leave shortly thereafter to go back to Oklahoma. And then the next day, she received a call from an unidentified woman telling her that she shouldn't pursue anything against Diddy because it would be a waste of time.
Hold on.
Thanks for watching.
So again, there was a lot more to this interview that I saw on TV that is not up on here. Okay. And here's the thing. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot more. I mean, it was just a little bit more than what they put out here. I'm going to tell you something. She just said everything we already know. We already went through the paperwork, at least the meat and potatoes of the paperwork. We already know about the experience as far as what is said in the paperwork, but we wanted to hear it from her. We wanted to hear it from LaTroya, not from Ariel Mitchell Kidd. With all due respect, I get it. She's there to represent her client. She's going to do what she needs to do to represent her client. But at the same time, it is the time for LaTroya to speak her story, to speak her truth. But we didn't get that. We just basically got a summary. By the way, the same summary that we got from Brian Enton in the very beginning, introing this interview in the first place. So all the information that we hear now, we've already heard. They didn't add anything new to this. So again, I'm just like, it's an odd, it's a very odd interview. That doesn't mean that it isn't real. Doesn't mean that what she went through isn't true. None of that. But it is just a bit weird that she comes onto the show and then barely says anything. Now, I get it. You can get very nervous about being on national TV, telling your story, and all that. I understand that 110%. But there is another part of me that's like, well, you agreed to come on here. They would have been patient enough. If it was a nerves thing, take your time. We back at church. Take your time. Take your time. We would have been fine with that. We would have been understanding. Some guys would be savages, but at the same time, we would have been understanding. The general consensus would be like, okay, just let her do her thing. Let her form the words. She's nervous. She's dealing with the trauma, all that stuff, right? But then as soon as like he was asking softball questions, y'all. And it ended up just being an interview for Ariel Mitchell Kidd. And then in my mind, I'm like, well, then just why come onto the TV show if you're going to, if Ariel is going to take over the interview, then they should have just had an interview with Ariel, not with LaTroya. We probably would have had, you know what I mean? Because again, this is when people start looking at things and they go, wait a second, that's weird. Court of public opinion starts to side eye, go, is she really telling the truth? And all that. You know, like I said, it's disappointing because I was very, very excited about that. Very, very excited about that interview because I wanted to hear from her. I wanted to hear her explanation because the one thing that they never really got to was, why do you know for a fact? What is convincing you for sure that this is Diddy's work? That you are indeed a victim of Diddy and that you were SA'd by Diddy? First off, that you were SA'd and also by Diddy. Most importantly, by Diddy. We never got that question. So I don't know. We are a evidence-based world. We need proof. We need evidence. And that is a huge piece. Again, I'm going to repeat this again, like I've been saying it over and over and over again. I'm not sitting here saying that I don't believe this particular accuser. I just want things a little bit more solidified. Because again, other lawyers are going to be Diddy's lawyers are going to be looking at this and going, see another example of baseless claims, frivolous allegations, and a ridiculous lawsuit. Once again, getting hit again with some BS. See, another one. You see what I'm saying? And then that's when the court of public opinion starts to look and go, well, maybe Diddy isn't a bad guy after all, because of lawsuits that aren't properly 110% vetted. So again, to me, this is very, very interesting, and it's sad. Okay. Because I agree with Ebony Queen. I get worried about this, this kind of stuff kind of muddying the waters as well. And that's not good at all either. For me, I'm like, I want to see more proof. Medical records and all that. Later on in the interview, just really quick, later on in the interview, they did say something about her getting wheeled out into an ambulance. She claims to have been wheeled out of the event where she passed out and was wheeled into an ambulance. And she says, I just think it's really messed up that he didn't even check in to see how I was doing, to see, to any concern of a patron, somebody who's at one of his parties getting picked up by the ambulance and all that. She did say that in one of the in the interview, in that same interview. They just didn't show the whole thing. There's at least 2 or 3 more minutes left in that interview. And that's one of the things they did mention. I was like, oh, snap. So she's claiming she was rolled out. She was rolled out of the party by paramedics to be put into an ambulance to be sent to the hospital. That's something else as well. Who else saw that? You see what I'm saying? So this one is very, very interesting. Let me grab these super chats really quick. Heather, thank you so much for the love. His party, like Yacht, he is responsible for this behavior. Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. If he just had the party and an attack actually happened in the party, that's not his doing. That's not his responsibility, or that's not his fault. But if he was party to, or like he was an audience of, or was party to that actual crime, absolutely bury him under the prison. But if there's a crime that happened and he's on the other side of the party and he has no clue of that, then he's not in the wrong for that. You see what I'm saying? But if he was the one plying people with substances and all that stuff, definitely. Okay. Sushi, thank you so much for gifting 1 membership. I appreciate it. Again, Sushi Jezebel just gave you some love. Whoever became a member, welcome to the family. Pay it forward. Spread some holiday cheer. Okay. Just pay it forward. We need to hear more happy holidays and Merry Christmases. This is. out here. Real talk. S-Dubs, thank you so much for being a member for the past 22 months. And, of course, always being an amazing mod. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you all. Please hit that like. Yes, indeed. I know a lot of people aren't in today watching the show because of people are doing their last minute shopping. People are traveling a lot and all that stuff as well. Of course, I appreciate you guys being here with me, watching this and being a part of the chaos. Obviously, the chaos is still going, and we're going to be talking about more stuff here very, very soon. So, guys, that is the show. I appreciate y'all. What are your thoughts on all this? To me, I need more evidence. I need more proof, and I don't think that interview helped. With all due respect, I don't think that interview helped. Okay? Rainy day. Do not forget to get the pizza boxes and the plastics. Exactly. Thank you so much, Rainy Day. I appreciate it. But I do have my holiday special coming out to you guys. It looks like on Monday. I'm looking forward to sharing that with y'all. I'll be giving you more updates about that tomorrow. Okay. But we are going to be doing this holiday special. I cannot wait to share it with you guys. There's some really amazing stuff that we did. Something I haven't done ever. And some things I haven't done in a really long time. So I'm very excited about sharing this show with you guys. It's going to be really, really fun. I'll let you know more information tomorrow, I promise. Do me a favor though, before you head out, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to do that. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. Make sure you hit that follow button on all those other platforms that I'm on. Everything from Rumble all the way to Facebook. Go follow. Subscribe here. Hit that subscribe button here, please and thank you. Crush that subscribe button. All right. Go to my secondary channel. Check it out. Crush that subscribe button over there as well. I got 2 new videos over there. Okay. And of course, hit that join button down below. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals and check out PascalMerch.com. Okay. We got some really great stuff over there. I guarantee you're going to find something you're going to love over there. All right, guys. It's time to get going. Much love to you guys. And if I miss you guys, which I'm going to be on, so you will see me before the big day. But if I don't, and you guys are busy shopping or spending time with your family, which you should be doing, happiest of holidays to every single last one of y'all. All right. I hope it's a wonderful one. I hope it's spent with all beautiful friends and family, and it's filled with nothing but good times and holiday cheer. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.